Morning everybody, it's a nice sunny morning, July the 14th. I thought you might like to have a quick squidge around my plot. So I've planted up a couple of hanging baskets and I've got some sweet peas. Oh, these sweet peas, I bought some packets of high scented ones. You can pick up the scent even from here, absolutely gorgeous. The hanging baskets, I've got lobelia and petunias in them, and they're looking good, and they cheer the old site up, don't they? And then let's have a look in our cold frame. In here I've got some melons, and look at that, I am so chuffed. I have got actually melons growing. I think I've got another one here. Come on, ain't you come? There you go, look at that. These were some seed. I bought some seed in France, and Charente, and I also put some seed in there that I retrieved from a melon, and it's looking like they are successful. Moving on, and I've got some pretty hanging baskets with some French marigolds in and some lobelia. So now let's have a little look in our little cafe, if you like. Oh, come on, Fred. Right, let's go and have a look inside. Oh, there's his brother Mick there, look. We've had a bit of trouble with some kiddies breaking into the sheds, and that might just put them off. Who knows? Let's have a squidge round. Now this is mostly in shade, so it gets warm, and there's plenty of ventilation. So look at those lovely geraniums, well pleased with those. Then I've got a hanging basket there with some cherry type tomatoes in, which is they're coming on all right. They do need watering a lot, so I've got a bottle in there which dribbles the water in. Now I have a cordy burr, which is a beefsteak type tomato, in a pot. I've had to repair the pot, but I've put a bit of duct tape around. I've let it hang down over the rim. That stops the wood lice climbing up. Then I've got a cucumber, and you can tell it's a cucumber because it's climbing up that billiard cue. Silly boy, aren't I? Then I've got a couple of peppers I'm giving a go to, and you can see on the right there, that's the bottles of comfrey and garlic and stuff and seaweed mix that I made myself, which I'm using this year as a good old trial. Right, let's move on round then. Let's go and have a look in the greenhouse. On the bench here, just outside the greenhouse, I've got some pretty plants again, but I've also got some chrysanthemums which I am trying to encourage to grow as nice balls of yellow flower. I'm going to sell them for the kiddies going to Tanzania, the scouts going to Tanzania. Right, into the greenhouse. I've got Alsa Craig and Moneymaker I've planted together. I've done that because they do cross-pollinate, so you get the nice shape of the Moneymaker along with the flavour of the Alsa Craig. Well, that's the hope anyway. So these peppers that need watering a bit quick, I'm doing Toro Rosso, yellow and red, bell peppers yellow, and California Wonder. And then here I've got another gherkin, and there's one there. Look, it's almost ready to pick. It just wants to be just that little tiny bit bigger. But when I've got enough gherkins from this gherkin plant, then that'll come out, and then I'm hoping to encourage a melon. And here I've got a proper cucumber, which is giving me nicely a cucumber one a week roughly, which is really all you want. Then I've got another cordy burr growing here that well, I'm growing that to hopefully it won't get blight like the tomatoes outside. And then
on a little shelf I've got some more peppers
in the grow bag.
So let's see, let's go and have an
experiment here. I've got a Cape gooseberry in a pot. I'm going to keep it in the pot right through this year, and then I'm going to overwinter it in the greenhouse and then put it out next year, because they do need a long season. Okay, let's move along then. I've got some sweet peas growing up my windbreak there. That's to break the wind. Whoops, naughty, naughty. That's to break the wind when we're having our coffee, because we get southwesterlies here. My red onions, they're doing really well. They've started to bend over a bit, but it doesn't matter. They're nearly complete now in any case. The currants, the black currants and red currants, they've got overtaken with the raspberries, but it really is the end for this patch. That patch has been there since 1973, probably even before then. So I think it's at its time, and I'm going to grow some new ones in a different place. Strawberries, they've all but finished now. Yeah, they've been superb, despite the fact that the woodlice have had as many as I have. The blackbird didn't attack them this year for some reason, but anyway, I'm very satisfied with it. So I've left the odd few now that for the creatures, they can have them now. Now where the broad beans were, they've all gone now. Some of them are in my tummy, and now I've sown some very late parsnips, and I sowed them in tubes. I put the seed in a fridge for a few days first, and they came up. So there we go. We've got parsnips now, and they won't grow into big giant parsnips, but they'll be fine for the autumn and the winter. So here we are on the other side now. Nasturtiums, I'm growing. Oh, not growing. They're growing themselves. They're all self-sown, they are, and they do keep the north wind off the greenhouse, so let them grow on. Okay. Now where my garlic was, I've taken all the garlic out. They're now in the cafe. I should have shown you them. They're drying off. They were quite successful. Got a bit of rust towards the end, but otherwise, no worries. They're quite successful. I've sown some late carrots in there. With the weather we've been having, a bit of rain, a bit of sun, they've all come up. So not too late to stick a few late carrots in. I've got in there that Autumn King. Where the broad beans were, I've left one plant there with two plants with a few beans on for seed for next year. And then I'm trying a few peppers, a couple of capsicum peppers there, because they're up against that bit of plastic there. They get the sun. Just give them a try outside. Then my onions, they're doing okay. That's my white onions. They seem to have survived the wind as well. I have had wire in them, so mostly that's to keep the cat off. But yeah, they're doing good. Yeah, so I'm quite pleased with them. Yeah, and then moving along, marrows. I snuck a couple of beetroot in there as well. Marrows are doing really good as well. I've had 5 marrows already. And in there, look, there's one there that really does want picking. It's a giant one, look at that. That's nearly 2 foot long. Okay, well, I am a fisherman as well. Let's go for 18 inches long then. Yeah, so I'm quite pleased with that. And then my shallots in the next bed, they're doing good. The raspberries have got in amongst them as well. But yeah, everything's looking good on the raised bed. Okay, so now let's have a look at the grapevines. Yeah, they're doing okay. Don't forget the rose. We've got our Hampshire rose, look, and on the other end we've got a Lancaster rose. You've got to have a rose bush with grapes. I don't know if it's compulsory, but there you go. It's the way it's done. Yeah, back to the grapes. Now they had a good start, then they slowed down. But they seem to have picked up again now, and we're not long back from France, and between you and me, our grapes, certainly the ones here on my allotment, are in advance of the ones in France. I'm beginning to feel sorry for the French, because I think they're going to have a disaster as the harvest. And unless things change, and they do, things do catch up. So, there's our grapevines. I'm interested to see how they do, because I'm trying the 2 methods on each vine to determine which is the best method. Of pruning, that is. And asparagus, I need to do something with that to help them make their good roots ready for next year. Okay, moving on. The strawberries in the tub, they did ever so well, because at least they're out the way of the blinking woodlice. So I'm quite pleased with that. I'm not sure now whether I need to redo it for next year. The bath, once again, little disaster. I had gherkins growing in there, not melons. So I've pulled one of them out and I've pickled those gherkins and I've put a melon in there. A little bit late, but who knows, it might come on, and then I might pull the other one out when I've had some gherkins off of that, so I can get pickle another jar, and then I might squeeze another melon in there because I've got some now in pots. So we'll see. Look at the size of that slug. That is as long as my finger. That is going to be fish food. We've had a bit of bother with potatoes, not a lot. I dug a few of those very early ones when I had protected. They were lovely, they were small, but that's the whole idea of digging your potatoes early so that you've got your first new potatoes. And you know me, I like to put my nice new potatoes with my first peas with a fish that I might have caught. Now, I've dug some potatoes here where you can see where the lime is. They had blight. So the other potatoes have survived it, but unfortunately, organic ladies and gents, I don't like chemicals, but I've got no choice. I've got to spray, otherwise the other allotment holders will get on at me, and they won't accuse me of spreading the blight, but they certainly will say I'm not helping. So unfortunately I've got to spray those with a copper fungicide. Now, me run of beans. Oh, well, I'm chuffed with them. Oh, I've got a little patch here of wildflowers. I've got a free packet of seeds from the seed company, so I thought I'd give them a go, and there you go. We call them weeds. But actually, they do look, when they're bunched together, they do look attractive. Now, back to the beans. Now, these beans were beans that were self-sown in amongst my potatoes last year, and they matured because I didn't know they were there, and I dried them off, and then I sowed them directly in the grain this year, and you know, the slugs didn't eat them, which is kind of like surprising really, because they ate everything else, so I'm quite pleased with those, and I've got beans. And the other allotment holders they're saying, how did you manage to get your beans so early? So that's what I've told them. There you go. Right, and now I've got here in my raised beds, these are my mobile raised beds, these I shall move them along next year. I've got some carrots that just haven't liked the weather. They're just not very good at all, but the carrots are okay, and I've got some parsnips in there. Only a few of them came up out of a whole packet, but this bed here with the beetroot in, they have been absolutely tremendous. The beetroot just seemed to love this wet but little bit sunny weather, and the wind ain't bothered them either, so I'm well chuffed with those. Then the next row is peas. I'm letting these ripen, so I've got peas for next year. And then when I've dug them out, like this little bit here, they've been dug out, and then I've raked the soil, left the roots in, raked the soil up, and I've planted leaf beet there. It's getting a bit late now, but you'll still get your beet. It will stand all winter without going to seed. When you sow it early, it goes to seed so quick, but that hasn't. Now the sprouts, they're doing good. These are these blue sprouts, and I've put leeks in between, so if either one of them get diseased and I pull them out, you've still got a row of something. And also it puts a bit more space in between them, because sprouts do like a lot of space, whereas leeks, they don't mind growing up underneath sprouts, so I'm squeezing two lots in one. And then the second row, I named me courgettes. These are green bush. They've been tremendous. They're in the shade, of course, of the sunflowers, but I'm picking 2 or 3 of these a day. It's hard to keep up with them, so just give them away, don't you? And then, of course, this other row will be spring cauliflowers. You can see I've got one there and a small one coming on, and I've just sown a couple more today, so that I'll end up with them evenly spaced out through the spring. Yeah. So, moving on to these are my squash. Now, I did plant out 4 squash plants, but I also threw into the ground some seed that I saved from the squash from last year, and it looks like they've all come up. So, and I've got squash in there as well. I'm now going to need to, there's one hidden away in there, look, can you just see? I'm going to have to get in there and find out which ones have got squash seed on, take the tips off so that squash can swell, and then probably middle of this month, at the end of the month maybe, I'll take out the ones that aren't producing. Then my sweet corn, I've got 2 lots of sweet corn here. Some of the sweet corn I saved from a corn that I dried and then clipped the corn off, and some are from a packet. They are both doing equally as well as each other. I did it last year and they were quite successful, so you could just save your corn. And I have got this sneaky suspicion when you save your own seed, it's slightly more sympathetic to your soil. Now, in amongst these sweet corn, I've put some beans. It's called the Three Sisters. Right, the sweet corn are protecting the pumpkins from the hot sun, and the beans are climbing up the sweet corn. The truth is, I think I've only got 2 or 3 beans have survived, so there we go. Now then, pumpkins. Oh, there we go. I'll put in 4, or is it 5 plants? I can't remember now. This weather, they've just gone mad. And they're just spreading everywhere. I've got to get in there and sort them out, and I've got a feeling that I've got a pumpkin in there somewhere. The truth is, I saw the hint of one a few weeks back, and I'm not sure if it's swelling, because sometimes you get a pumpkin but it doesn't come to anything. In we go. There we go. Yes, look at that. Oh, it's actually bigger than I expected. Yeah. Morning, pumpkin. Keep going, mate. Yeah, so it's doing well. It's all looking yeah, quite exciting, really. Yeah. Okay, so now let's go on our other side now and have a look back at our fruit bushes. So here we are now on the other path, and we're going to do our fruit bushes. Now I've got here a blueberry. I've got 2 blueberries. I did have 3, and they're looking a little bit sad. And I think they're looking sad because I've got paving slabs around the edge. I mean, that one's in a bucket actually. This one's looking sadder. This one's got paving slabs around the edge, and I think what it amounts to is the concrete paving slabs slowly alkaline the soil. And blueberries, they don't want an alkaline soil, they want an acid soil. So I've got a feeling I'm going to have to rethink that. I don't quite know what's the best thing to do is. Perhaps somebody out there might have some ideas. Okay, moving on, I've got a fig tree here. I'm giving this a go. Fig tree, and I've got by the side of it, I've got Cape gooseberry. The Cape gooseberry, of course, come out this year, and that'll give the fig tree the room that it needs. But for the minute, it's all fine, and hopefully I'll have some Cape gooseberries probably late in the year. Moving on, right, I've redone all my fruit bushes. I've got a really nice gooseberry bush there that somebody gave me. Oh, they are so sweet. You've got to leave them. You've got to be patient and leave them to ripen off. But they are absolutely gorgeous. Then I've got a raspberry there that somebody gave me a root of. They get the raspberries on in the autumn. And then I've got a red currant bush that I bought from a nursery. Well, I didn't buy red currant, I bought a black currant. In fact, it's still got the label on there and it says black currant, and it's turned out to be red currant. And I really have got enough red currants, even though they're tremendous currants. So I will be swapping that for a black currant because I really have got enough red currants. But we'll see. I'm sure the nursery will be honourable and supply me with a new one. But I'll keep you informed on that one and let you know how things go. Oh, and this one is a red currant that I took from a cutting from the other bush. In fact, what I might do is leave that red currant, dig this one out and swap that for the black currant if the nursery send me another one. If not, I just have to buy another one, won't I? Yeah, let's be patient. Right, now then, our pear tree. The pears look a bit crusty. They seem to have this crust on them. I think it's got something to do with the frost. But we'll have to wait and see. We'll be patient. Peach tree. Ooh, fingers crossed we've cured that peach curl. I'll spray it with garlic. and I took all the tips out, so it looks good. And I've actually got peaches, but I've only got 4, and I've left the 2 pairs. I know you shouldn't leave them in pairs like that because they squeeze each other, but I am greedy and I have got 4, so I want to look after them, don't I? So we keep going. And then the apples, they're looking good. Some of them have got maggots in. As soon as I see a maggot, I'll pick it off and destroy it. But it's looking good, and I'm quite pleased with that. So onwards and upwards. So let's go back over the other side then, shall we? Okay, here we are, back on the other side. Sunflowers. Oh, these are looking blinking brilliant. Some of these are self-sown because I had a sunflower by the compost bin last year and they've dropped some seed. I've got that old table frame around them to give them a bit of support in the wind. Now this is my deep carrot bed. It's about 14 to 18 inches deep, and I filled it with composted soil with sand and grit in it to give me a nice long carrots and a nice long parsnip for the show. Hopefully. Who knows, eh? Now the cosmos, I sowed those to give shelter to the squash. So the morning sun gets on the squash, but as the sun goes round and gets higher, then they give a bit of shelter to the squash. And that's exactly what's happened. The pond, that's looking good. In fact, I'm going to cheat in a minute and I'm going to slip a little bit in for the pond in a couple of hours time, because those lilies will be out by then.
And this is a cheat really, because this is later in the day. I'm just going to go home, and I thought I'd show you the lilies just coming out. Look, tomorrow they'll be fully out.
Back to reality. Here we go. Grapevines. Yeah, I've tried the 2 systems, and here is a classic example of how best, how you can tell between the Goyet system, if I've said that right, and the spur system, as the Americans tend to do a lot of, when you have an old branch and you have spurs coming off. So I'm going to have to get in there, of course, and analyse to see which is the best, but you can probably work it out just looking at the picture. So there's our July harvest. Look, beetroot, some lettuce, there's a big marrow there, courgettes, I've had a few cucumbers, I've got some peas and some beans and a whole mixture of currants and strawberries. Not bad, eh? I'm chuffed anyway. Okay, so that's the summer plot. I hope you get something out of it. I hope you've enjoyed it, and to all the people that subscribe and all my friends that look at my videos, I hope you've enjoyed it, and I'll see you in October. Happy gardening. Bye.